Record. Hey everyone, really excited today to bring on one of my friends, Yele from Seenspire, and talk a little bit about Zoom Digital Signage. So I have a
Thanks,
Zoom
Sam.
Digital side behind me, and we're going to play with some things today and show you how very simply you can get these up on Zoom Rooms. And then with great partners like Seenspire, how quickly we can create a transformative environment where we can have automation and collaboration with the media and content that goes up there. So without further ado, Yele, thank you very much for being here and having a conversation with me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ham. I'm really excited to just introduce and educate people about the power that comes with the Zoom Rooms digital signage platform and how easy it is to really leverage the access to dynamic and automated content with Seenspire within your environment. So let's make it happen.
Awesome. So the first thing I'm going to do is what the heck is Zoom Digital Signage? So let me open up screen here and share with you what digital signage is. So if you've ever been inside your Zoom portal and if you have any sort of Zoom rooms, it's going to be inside of room management as it is part of the Zoom Room platform. But one of the tabs under room management you may have noticed is digital signage content. So now that's just a place that we can put together content and folders to bring right into our digital signs. So how do I get right here? From the place that we have all of our rooms, we can look for digital signage, and I have SP1 digital signage example right here. So I can open that right up, go to the room settings, and digital signage for whatever I want to put on that digital sign behind me is right here. And I can get a quick preview of everything, all the content that's coming to that sign, and configure quickly when I want it to show up, if I wanted to mute it, or of course, enable it in entirety. And I can do this either at the room level, like I'm showing you here, or at the account level and have it cascade to every room or every digital signage license that I have throughout my facility. So that's in a nutshell digital signage. Now I'll bring you back into the digital signage content area as well, where we put together different folders. I can use YouTube. I can use images. I can use websites as well. So ultimately, that's where things get really powerful. And I'm excited in a bit to hand you over to show where Seenspire can take some of those links for the websites or URLs that we're able to include and really upscale what we're capable of doing with this platform. But very briefly, it's pretty easy to create a playlist right here, and we can add content to it from our local computer, or like we mentioned before, URL, Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, Box, and throw those files down in here, set the duration, and we're on our way ultimately to creating a very quick playlist. So when I want to publish that playlist, I can just quickly go to the top level and press publish, and it will go to all of those rooms. Or if I individually want to go through my organization and maybe just have it play in the United States, I can publish right there. And that's all it takes to get that content down onto a sign. So let's just jump into a visualization of digital signage here from our Zoom support site. If you want to find these pages, the easiest possible way is probably to go right into Google and just type in Zoom Digital Signage support, and it will take you right into our support site. So if you see a link that starts with support.zoom.us, that's how you can end up here relatively quickly. And it's this particular support page is inside of the advanced hardware guides of settings and configuration for Zoom Rooms. But we get a little bit of an example of, okay, this is what digital signage is. As you can see, we're throwing content up there. And the idea is to quickly let our employees or anyone inside our real estate, understand what's important that day, or brand ourselves, et cetera. So really quick and easy ways to really put a professional touch to our environment and tie it all together. There's also some equipment here for what you need. So here's some suggestions. You can run this on appliances running Android, Windows, or Mac. And all of those have some great options within them. And they're very, very affordable. We're talking in a $300, $400 price point or less for enabling an endpoint. So that's ultimately the hardware portion and what that looks like to deliver into a facility. If you want to go through how to set these up, it's very easy, just like setting up a Zoom room. We're setting up the license, and that license is completely free. We can do unlimited digital signs inside of our existing organization as long as we have one Zoom room. So this article right here will go through all the prerequisites, what the image and video specifications are, and how to enable this. So this all is on our support page again, and just Google Zoom Rooms Digital Signage on Google, and this should take you right here. And that is how we get to eventually having a digital signage by adding a room here and adding digital sign only. I'm not going to go through the whole process, and instead just go right back to the digital signage example I had set up earlier in the room settings one more time, and go to digital signage here. And that's how this content ended up here. So without further ado, this is a great and easy way to get started. There's a lot more we can dive into around management. Zoom, just like with Zoom Rooms, makes it very easy to do weekly resets on these to make sure that your hardware stays fresh. We can delegate signage specific roles very quickly for those in your organization that only care about the content on your signage, but not necessarily the technicality. So I'm happy to have more conversation with anyone that's interested in it. But where this gets really powerful is from where we are here. We have partners like Seenspire with Yele, who is enabling automation and integration with your existing tool sets, with where your employees are and social and where they're posting, and using that URL that we could use earlier. You can take this to a whole nother level. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Yele.
Thank you so much, Ham. Super insightful, the information. And I actually noticed that the screenshot of the digital signage that you showed on the help center, that was already Seenspire content. So that's a great start. So here we're looking at the Seenspire content app, and I'm going to walk you through how you can easily use this to really turn your digital signage experience within Zoom Room into a diverse and attractive playlist that runs automated, right? Content on autopilot, and helps you to really engage your audience and turn your digital signage into an effective communication channel. And what is important to understand as well with digital signage, in the end, when someone looks at a display, they will justify giving their attention to that display truly based on the content, right? So it's really important that we bring our very best content to that display. So if we look at the dashboard here in Seenspire, with Seenspire, we offer three content types. So the first one is infotainment. And the best way to think of infotainment is a very large catalog of content, nicely categorized, and it has a variety of content that helps you to inform and entertain your audience, again, based on the space, based on the time in the year, and again, based on the audience that you're trying to cater for, right? So in this example, let's say we are having a digital signage display, right, at the Zoom offices in San Jose. So when we start with infotainment content, let's first look at, okay, what is some of the localized content that we can make available here? So I'm going to go here to local weather. I'm going to type in San Jose. There you go. And this is just going to give me access to the weather feed for that location. There you go. And we're going to add that feed. What I'm also going to do is, for example, add, let's say, a national weather feed and also a traffic feed, and I'm going to take a public transit feed as well. But just like that, what we are already doing here is that we are bringing content that is relevant to our location, useful information for our audience to, make decisions on, what to do next, how to organize their commute, etc. So let's say Zoom San Jose. There you go. Zoom in a little bit as well. There you go. And we can even set certain destinations depending on how the people are commuting. There you go. And we're adding that feed. And here you can see that those feeds are already being added here, right? So I'm going to take one more. There you go. And this is just going to show me some of the stations that are in the neighborhood. So I'm just going to take this one and add to my feeds. Now, what we can focus on here as well, so we have our localized information. Of course, we want to bring some more diverse content in here as well. So what about a thought of the day? You can bring in, let's say, for example, some trivia content, little quiz to people, when they're waiting or when they're in the lobby to engage with the screen, engage with each other. Also great in, break rooms. And also it's nice to, for example, bring some of nature in or digital art, again, to enhance the experience that you have in that space. So I'm going to add this one here. There you go. And just like that, you can see that because we have that access, that full access to dynamic and automated content, I already have 7 feeds here that I will be able to leverage on my digital signage experience. Now, I'm quickly going to just preview one of those feeds, for example, this one here. And what you'll see is that it's immediately on brand for my organization, right? You see the logo here, you see the colors. Why is that? Because you just need to do one-time brand setup, right? Logo, colors, and then everything that you select or that you create in terms of feeds will automatically be on brand. So with our infotainment in place, our next step is to create feeds as well, right? Let's repurpose some of the content that we've already created or that our social media team already created. So the first one we can do here is in 3 easy steps. Let's bring in some Instagram content. So I'm going to do here Instagram Zoom. There you go. We name the feed. We add content. There you go. And here, the only thing I have to do is just do a quick grab here of the handle. And there you go. I can just select that. And I'm going to set this just to a manual creation for now. But again, if it's your own company's content, you can easily do an auto approval. So it will just keep posting to your screen. And again, that's what we mean with content on autopilot. And let's just look at some recent content. So I'm adding the content here. And now this will start to bring in the content. You can either just go for Instagram. You can also add LinkedIn. You can add Facebook. So our next step is then to choose the feed layout, right? Do we want to see one post at a time, or do we want to see multiple posts? When you have a bigger social media wall, this is a great use case. In this case, let's go with the Uno design layout. And as a next step, since I set it to manual approval, I can now quickly pick, the ones that I want to see. So I'm going to, for example, take this one. And let me also take one video. There you go. And I'm also just going to be able to shuffle this again, because what you want to do is you want to avoid predictability on your screen, right? Because again, when your playlist is repetitive and monotonous, people will no longer give attention to your display. So all of these things are considered with Seenspire. So just like that, we have our social feed here as well, next to our infotainment. So our final step is that we can also leverage, again, collaboration apps that are already being used within our organization, such as Slack, for example. So let's say, for example, you want to make it possible for organizations to quickly get a message on the screen via Slack. No problem. You create that feed. I'm just going to call it here the Slack message board. I'm going to add content. There you go. And then here I have a channel, which is called message board. And with this, what will happen is, of course, if people want to see a message on the screen, they can just simply jot down a message in a Slack channel, upload a picture, and automatically Seenspire will take the content, format it for the best viewing experience on digital signage. So adding that content here, similar flow like you saw with the social media feed. And then here, what I'm going to do next is I'll be able to finish my setup, and it will be pulling in my feeds. So there you go, introducing a puppy, an elevator maintenance update, or even a food truck that is coming. Any type of messaging that you want to get on the screen, you can now just use tools that people already know. So let me just quickly put a shuffle here as well to, again, remove any potential predictability. And here we now have our Slack feed, we have our Instagram feed, and our infotainment. So one final step is now that we have that content available is to create a seamless experience of how that content will play on our digital signage. So we're going to bring these individual feeds together in one stream URL. So as Ham explained already, the Zoom Rooms digital signage supports the playback of URLs. So you could use individual feed URLs from within Seenspire, but you can also bring them together in one stream. So that, for example, let's say we want to have our Instagram content. We're going to do that twice. And then our local weather, our traffic, our thought of the day. There you go. Our digital art. And let me see, at the Slack feed as well. So right now, what we have here is we have a stream with 7 feeds. There you go. And I can still quickly reorder those. So we're gonna open up with our weather, 8 seconds. Then after our weather, we can quickly do an Instagram post. Let me do 8 seconds on this one. Yeah, there you go. And then we can have 2 updates from Slack. After that, we bring in traffic. And again, this is going to be consistently updated. So it's really going to be content on autopilot. We put our quote of the day here. We make that 8 seconds. And then we have some digital art. And after that, I'm just going to switch these around. There you go, and make this 8 seconds. So right now, what we have is we have a stream URL, and I'm already going to hand it over to Ham so he can actually put that on his digital signage display. And while he does that, I just quickly want to show you how you can then copy that, right? And even preview that before you actually schedule it on the screen. Because here you can see, if I enter full screen, this is the experience that you will then be able to have on your Zoom Room digital signage display. So again, what are we looking at? Fully branded, localized, and automated content that makes sure that no one within your team will have to worry about content creation, because every single day you will have engaging and dynamic content on your screen already. So Ham, with this being created, I think I can hand it over back to you as you schedule it on our display, and then we will see it in action over there. And maybe just to end off, you can always explore Seenspire with a free trial and use it in your Zoom Rooms digital signage on www.seenspire.com.
Awesome. And I do have the link from Yele. So I'm going to go ahead and if you wouldn't mind, I'll take over the screen share here
Yes.
and show what I do with it. So I've copied the link that's been sent to me in chat. And all I'm going to do, I'm back at that same digital signage example, which is the screen behind me here. So the content that you've been seeing is right here. And to simplify everything, I'm going to go ahead and remove the rest of this. And I'm just going to go ahead and add the URL content.seenspire.com and the unique code. Go ahead and add that URL and add that one item. Let me set the duration here for what, after it transcodes, set it for about a minute and we should see it populate right up.
Just something here, you can set this for an hour as well, because it's a stream URL, it will just loop that content consistently. And that's something that we see with the Zoom Room users. You just can set one long duration and then play that URL.
Yep, so there it is. I did want to rename it so I can recall Seenspire playlist just to help me recall what I'm looking at there. And I'll press save. And as soon as this pulls down to my device here and the device that's running Zoom digital signage here is going to ping the cloud and ask for, is there anything new? Is there any new URL that I should be interested in? And as soon as it sees this, and I think I put it at 1 minute instead of 1 hour, apologies. I might update that. There we go. As soon as it caches down locally here, which can take a minute or two, it will start playing that playlist. And
It's there.
oh, there it is. So you
Look
can
at
do
us.
it, at the account level or at the individual room, but that's how easy it is. And now, thanks to Seenspire, I don't have to create any content anymore, and it's always going to look beautiful and awesome behind me, and be relevant and up to date with the latest on social media and what's actually being said inside of my social channels or chat channels, inside of my organization. So thank you so much for making that as easy as you have. So this is what's really exciting to me with the future of Zoom Digital Signage and allowing partners like Seenspire to be able to do amazing work like this, that I would have loved when I was an admin to be able to set up one time and know that it was going to make my whole environment look as impressive as this.
Yes. No, thanks so much for having me on the session today, Ham. And I look forward to assisting more users with the combined solution.
Fantastic. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.